Hey, we're back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Before we get to our guest, just real quick here, I got an email. Listen, folks, I told you, the liberals have no idea what it's like to go to, yeah, they do know what it's like, but where they get their money from. You're supposed to go to the White House to become rich. You're supposed to be a politician to become rich. They're all messed up in the head because Donald Trump is a brand. Trump empire there, enterprises, whatever, all the above. He is a brand, and he actually doesn't need to go to Washington, D.C. and become rich. So they're all messed up with family business. So before we get to our guest, someone sent me an email here in our first half hour. All those hotels and casinos, etc., paid big money for the Trump name, the Trump brand. It is a brand, okay, good. Selling stock can be replaced after your term. You cannot replace specific real estate. That's a great point, okay, because all these people want Trump to liquidate his business, and the liberals are out there on the left side. You can sell stock. If you own stock in something, you can sell stock, all right, and you can get it back after your term is over, but you can't just go selling real estate and get it back. A person that runs for president or public office is giving up their entire private life. They are not expected to give up their entire livelihood unless it is a permanent position. Otherwise, they have nothing to run to. Thank you very much, Joanne, for your email this morning on our first half-hour topic. My guest now is Lee Snover. You got Lee's picture there. Lee Snover is in Pennsylvania. Lee is the, if I went through all of the her introduction, it would take too long, but she is the GOP chair in Northampton County, Pennsylvania. And are you, good morning, Lee, how are you?
I'm doing okay.
Now, are you okay with me publicly saying, because, well, I already have that, are you called an elector or elector of the?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm an elector in the Electoral College for Pennsylvania.
Okay, I have heard, have you gotten any threats, comments, anything said to you concerning being an elector in the Electoral College?
It has been absolutely insane. First of all, the Electoral College are supposed to be anonymous. It's not supposed to be political. It's not supposed to be something you lobby. And they were released illegally, and the FBI is investigating that. These states and the governors, we have a Democrat governor. They released them illegally. They released the names illegally. So under investigation.
So the list I pulled, now I didn't get it from you, but the list I pulled in PA was released illegally because I got all the names the other day. I went and looked.
Right. It's been released illegally, and that's being investigated because it's supposed to be like just an anonymous, a ceremonial thing. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a constitutional thing where you just carry out what the Electoral College is. It's not supposed to be political. And we're not supposed to be lobbied. But it has been insane. I have gotten over 8,000 emails. I have
Are you serious? I mean,
I'm serious.
Wow.
I'm serious. And I have 8,000 emails. My phone rings constantly. They're calling my husband's business. They're calling my business. They're calling my home. I have letters stacked up in big rubber bands where they've handwritten letters to me. I mean, they're messaging me on Facebook. It's insane. It's actually been, it's insane. It's just been overwhelming.
Well, now let me ask you a question. Now, how do you become an elector for the Electoral College? How does that happen?
Before the actual election, in November, each state party, the Democrat state party and the Republican state party, they put forth a pool of names to the governor, like a pool, like these 50 people we'd like to see them as electors. And then I guess he selects from that pool. And there's only 20 in Pennsylvania.
Right.
So I guess I was selected from the pool that they put forward.
Well, now, so in any of the emails that you've received, calls to your husband's office, calls to your office, to your home, have you had to report those to local authority? Because I don't. Have you had to report that that's taking place to your local law enforcement?
Yeah, actually, the very first day that we were chosen as electors, I got a call from our state party telling us I need to notify the local police department due to people could track me home. I will tell you, this is the very first media interview I've done on it. And the reason I've declined many. I mean, my phone and my email, people are asking me to talk about it, and I won't because I don't want to draw more attention to, well, you guys are in Georgia, so I don't mind. But I don't want to do national news, and I haven't done Pennsylvania news because I want to draw more attention to my house, to my family, so I've been trying to fly a little under the radar with it. I haven't talked to any local media.
Okay, let me, we encourage you to notify your local officials on everything you get in there, and I know you're doing that, and I'm for sure your husband is encouraging you to do that also for your own safety, because
the calls are humorous. There's been some funny ones. Most are from California.
Really?
Oakland, a lot California. California's, calling constantly, in Portland, Oregon, and Oregon. Most California, very little, and maybe one or two from PA, not really from PA. I'm just saying it's been overwhelming. California, New York, and Oregon.
Well, you know what? The reason I asked you is I heard an interview. Heard an interview on Fox this morning with a guy from, I think it was Michigan, that is getting actual death threats in Michigan. I heard an interview on that this morning. So I'm sorry for each and every one of you out there that are getting that, and but they did release those publicly because you're right, and so you say that's illegal though. And
they weren't supposed to do that. It's under investigation because, like I said, it's supposed to be anonymous. It's supposed to be a ceremonial thing. It's not supposed to be a political. You're not supposed to be trying to get us to change our vote. That's not what it's about.
Okay,
but they have been. And most have been. There been a lot of homosexuals. I mean, a lot of homosexual phone calls, and they tell me that or they tell you, I'm a gay, I'm a gay person, and that's why I'm afraid of them. It's really, it's been a very odd experience. That people are very, it's kind of like the protester people. That's who's phoning.
Well, it's, now you have me nervous. I mean, I like to tell my audience who we're talking to, but I can't keep it under. This is Lee Snover. She's part of the Pennsylvania Republican State Committee this morning. And Lee Snover. Lee, our second topic we want to cover this morning is, I'm calling them the Golden Girls. Jill Stein and Hillary Clinton. The Golden Girls are putting efforts towards a recount. And today is the deadline in Pennsylvania. Pennsylvania is November 28th to initiate a recount, which it looks like Pennsylvania is charging $500,000 for. What do you hear on that in the state committee?
Well, I'm hearing that they don't think it'll happen here because his margin was a lot bigger here than it was Wisconsin and Michigan. I mean, one was like 67,000 votes here.
Right.
It wasn't 10,000. It wasn't 20,000. I mean, 67,000. I mean, that would be a lot of votes to find or change here. So, I mean, it could happen. They could file today just because they want to meet or beat the deadline, but I'm not sure if the actual recount will happen. But, that's not a lot of money. I mean, $500,000 is not a lot of money for somebody to come up with, especially George Soros or somebody who really would like to see that happen.
Right.
Just to tie it up in Pennsylvania. But I think Pennsylvania is too many votes to find. Way too many. So, I mean, I don't think it'll be fruitful here.
But can they not do it? I mean, can they not pay the fee and say we want to look at it anyway, or
I don't think so. I mean, I think they'll have access to any of the records, but I think for an actual official recount, they'll have to file something and probably in Harrisburg and pay something to start that recount. But like I said, there's a lot of votes here. I mean, he won pretty big here. I mean, I don't think a recount. I don't think it'll be fruitful for him. I don't know what they'll prove. And I know that our county had the George Soros machines, but they were not hackable. George Soros has two different kinds of machines. They're called the Sequoia. Some are linked where they're electronic. Ours are not. It's a push button and it lights up, but it was not hackable. So, there were 13 counties in Pennsylvania that had the George Soros machines. We were one of them, but we didn't have the electronic ones that you could actually, be hacked. We did not have those.
Well, Lee, unless you have a paper ballot backup, I will say this: there's been a lot of looking into Georgia's election cycle. If you wanted to do a recount in Georgia, really all you would get is the computer spitting out the results of the first time.
Right. That's all you get here in Pennsylvania.
Right. So,
as well.
All right. Well, let's
we don't have a backup.
Let's move a couple more topics because I know you're busy. It's Monday after the holiday, and it's Cyber Monday, and so forth. But I seen pictures of you and this guy, so I have to ask the question: how well you know Lou Barletta?
Oh my God, I love Lou Barletta.
All right, but now wait a
Awesome.
minute. In August, Lou went to a national security meeting. This is back in August with Trump, Lou Barletta, and reports is Lou he's a congressman, right? Congressman from
Yes.
Wilkesboro, right?
Yes.
And Lou Barletta is headed to Trump Tower today. What do you know about that?
Well, here's what I think. I mean, Pennsylvania is saying Pennsylvania is wanting him to get the head of transportation. They want him to be the head of Department of Transportation. But, he would be so perfect for Homeland Security. I remember him saying one time, we were doing these mini rallies for Trump through the primary around the state, and he would say what he heard in the briefings of Homeland Security, causes him not to be able to sleep at night. I mean, he goes, when you go to a Homeland Security briefing and you hear how volatile the world is and how dangerous a place it is, you can't sleep for days after those hearings, after those meetings, those security meetings. So, I mean, I don't know. I think the guy is really awesome. He's a real uniter. He's positive. He's full of energy. I mean, he lights up a room. He never looks at a negative. I mean, he's not a pessimist. He is definitely filled with hope. This guy would be great in any department in our country.
Well, Lee, reality is you've been in politics a long time, and there's a lot of people that are up in arms about some of these picks of Trump. And I don't like it when we say owe. I hate when we say we owe somebody. But you know what? Donald Trump owes the American people, one, and second, he owes Wisconsin, he owes Michigan, he owes Ohio, he owes Pennsylvania. And, Priebus is, Wisconsin, and the Lady Duvall, is that her name, up in Michigan for, and do you think Lou Barletta is the Pennsylvania, do you think that's possible? Because he owes Pennsylvania. I'd be the first, I hate to say that. I know I've got viewers screaming now that's what's wrong with politics and, these politicians, but he owes Pennsylvania. Do you think that's Lou Barletta?
I think it could be, yeah. And if it was going to be anyone in Pennsylvania, Lou would be right. Because, look, everyone in the country could have faith in him. He's very grounded. He knows who he is, what he believes, where he's going. He's not your typical politician, very family-oriented, very filled with faith. He's not fascinated by Washington. I mean, Lou is a perfect representative of America. He used to own an asphalt company. He did paving. I mean, this is a guy that came from, hometown USA and went to Congress and now wants to, do what he can to help America. So he would be somebody you could have faith in. Out of all the picks there's been, he's probably the most identified with real America, with blue-collar America, is Lou Barletta.
Hey, listen.
He's not a billionaire. He would be...
Oh, hell no, he's not worthy. He's not worthy.
You know what I mean? And I would love that because I've been a little disappointed in the billionaire picks. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of getting to me a little bit. So Lou would be perfect to offset that.
Well, let me ask you, let's end today with this. Can you be okay? Let me put it all out there before you answer. Can you be okay with Mitt Romney as Secretary of State? Does he owe an apology, a public apology? And did Kellyanne go rogue this weekend? What's your take on all of that?
I thought what Kellyanne did was fine because it's the truth and it's honesty, and she's doing exactly what Donald Trump did through his whole campaign, right? So what's wrong with her doing it? She's just doing what she learned. So I'm okay with her doing that. However, I don't really have a problem with Mitt Romney as Secretary of State. I don't prefer him. I prefer Rudy Giuliani.
Why?
100%.
Why?
Because of Rudy's loyalty. That's why I prefer Rudy. I think Rudy is so loyal. I think Rudy is so connected with America. I think Rudy is so in touch with people, and I think Mitt Romney's out of touch. I don't disagree with Mitt Romney in the position because I think he's a brilliant man. He could definitely do the job. That's not the question. The question for me is, look, here's another billionaire. I mean, why do we have to think you have to be a billionaire to be successful when a lot of this money from these billionaires, it's inherited. Some of them didn't earn it. So anyway, but I know Mitt Romney's qualified, so I won't doubt qualifications. I'll just doubt loyalty. But I know he's qualified, so I won't be upset that he can't do the job. I'll just be a little disappointed.
Yeah, but don't you think that Trump? I call Trump and Giuliani city slickers. They just are, okay. So, and I like Donald Trump. I support him all the way through. But the point, and I like Mayor Giuliani. The point is don't you think that I keep telling people, Morning Joe Scarborough's going nuts, saying, Giuliani's going rogue, and Trump has got to be mad about this, and do you not think that Trump looked at Giuliani on the plane all those days and says, hey, Rudy, here's how we're going to play this? You really think Rudy's just out there? I don't believe it for a second.
No
way. A second.
However, I would prefer to see Rudy at Homeland Security. That's where I think he belongs. And that's where I would prefer him. I mean, I just think either him or Lou Barletta in Homeland Security.
Okay, any other picks out there that you like to bring up before we go? Because I do have a viewer comment for you before you leave today. But any other picks or anybody he's picked so far? Or?
No, I'm okay with the Secretary of Education from Michigan. It's just, again, it's another billionaire. That really is getting to me. So here's my thing. I want real Americans in there. I want regular American people who have good ideas. So I'm still looking that way. Anyway, Pennsylvania has its own battle brewing. Let me take you on the side real quick, offline. There's a huge battle between Trump and Never Trump still exists here because Pat Toomey won re-election for the U.S. Senate with the Southeast, or the ring counties around Philadelphia. Pat Toomey won with them. Donald Trump didn't win with them. He won with all the rural areas. The rolls went like 2-1 for him.
Lou Barletta.
Right. So here we have two victories, very different paths. So you have the Trump people won and the Never Trumpers won. So they are fighting for control of the state party. The never wealthy Trumpers, Never Trump wealthy Southeast Philadelphia people want to control the Republican Party, and the Trump rural America wants to control the Republican Party. And there's a huge battle brewing in Pennsylvania, and Pat Toomey wants it, and it's bad and it's ugly.
So is Pat still showing that Pat Toomey, if you're not aware, that's their U.S. senator that would not support Donald Trump, stayed clear away from it. He won re-election by using the Philadelphia Republican establishment circle there, and Donald Trump won by using Lee Snover's district, Western PA, Lou Barletta.
Right. He won the rural areas like 2-1.
Yes. All right. Now my question to you is, I'm glad you took us on a side, even though it is Pennsylvania, because that is what I'm telling people now to do. Take over your local Republican parties. Get in there now. Now. Don't wait. Now. Right now. Strike while the iron's hot. Take over your county parties, your state, everything. Take them over now. And you're saying...
because these people they're not defeated. They're still there.
Oh, God, no.
And they're still demanding, they want to take things back to top down, all money, all moderate, and it's a battle.
Okay, Lee, I thank you so much. We wish you safety.
What was the viewer comment? You didn't give me the viewer comment.
I'm getting ready to. First of all, you need to know that our viewers, I go to a local tea party, and Judy, I'll give Judy a shout out. She's always telling people what you say. And that everybody that listens to the show talks about how we had the best coverage here from PA on the ground. So I have this message from somebody that has listened to you multiple times that said, hell, what the hell, Lee? That's what they said. What the hell, Lee? Fetch Your News is national in scope. We're not just some local outlet. So they wanted to let you know that you were not hiding because you were in Georgia, that we're all that down here. So
okay, all right.
Okay.
So I didn't go to ground by going on your show. I get that.
Yeah, they said, what the hell, Lee? Fetch Your News is in national scope. We are blessed to know that we have. I have a lady in Connecticut that her code name is Red Lady in a Blue State. So,
oh, goodness.
Yes, so we have. So I want to thank you so much. Look, be careful.
Hey, and I hope your viewers didn't forget how right I was when I kept reporting.
No. Trust me. No.
I kept telling you guys, this is different.
No.
Even though the media was saying we were going to lose, I said, no, something's different in PA.
Absolutely. There's people talking all the time that we stayed focused here. You know, Lee, actually I did, I'll let you know, I sent off, I don't know what I'm going to get. You know, on the transition website, there's a 2017 transition website, and all press has to reapply. I love what he's doing with the press. I love what he's doing. I love that he's just going straight to the people. I like the Thanksgiving message.
I know. I loved his Twitter all weekend. I'd rather know what he's saying than what they're saying.
Well, you know, they're saying, you know, he missed his first diplomatic opportunity and he blew it. I love it. 4 words: Fidel Castro's dead. That's it.
Exactly.
He's dead. I mean, what do you want me to say? You got to love the guy when it comes to stuff like that. And you know what? They're determined. They can't stand the recounts. They can't stand the unification of this country. That's what they cannot let happen. And it actually is taking place. Donald Trump is doing a very good job sending out messages, staying in touch. Did you hear anything out of those media meetings that maybe I didn't hear, or anybody else that he had with the media? Because I love the way he took them to task.
No, I haven't. No, that I haven't heard anything on.
Well, I did fill out all of my press credential stuff, and I am trying, just so you know, Lilia, I am trying to get press credentials to the inaugural, and I'm trying to get White House. I want to be on the front row. I want
That's
them to,
awesome.
I want them to pass by Chuck Todd and say, Chuck, move over a little bit. I can't see BKP.
I know. How about it?
Right? Lee,
Yeah, so you're on the rise.
Be careful. This is very serious. Those people are very serious. They're dangerous people out there. So, and thank you for all the updates. We'll text you again. Next update you have on the state party, we'd like to hear how that goes too.
All right, I'll keep you posted. Have a great day.
You too.
Right,
that is Lee Snover. We're going to take a brief break. She wants everybody to remember that she was giving us the on-the-ground information. We'll come back. I want to highlight a couple things that she said, and then I want to look at Barack Obama's first picks that maybe we're not looking at. And if you want to, thank you for the tweets. Thank you for the text messages. Thank you for the emails, chief@fetyournews.com and chief@fetyournews.com. And also 706-889-9700. You want to call the show, send me a text, see if we can't get you in. If you want to tell me about what you think about Donald Trump's picks and who he should have. I'm your host, BKP. Let's take a brief break here. You're not Kyle, are you?
Nope.
Kyle, you never met Kyle, have you? There's Kyle, Lonnie, now Cole. Where's Lonnie, by the way? Okay, Lonnie.
We're going to figure it out.
We're going to figure it out. We'll be back after these messages.